Okay, picture this. I'm sitting right next to you, looking over your shoulder as your mentor. You're staring at your screen, and honestly, the anxiety is practically radiating off you. There's this difficult, super high-stakes email just trapped in your inbox, right? And it's been sitting there mocking you for 3 days. You've typed out 5 different replies, deleted every single one of them, and your stomach just totally drops every time you look at the sender's name. Well, welcome to this explainer on strategic communication and task automation, because today we are going to fix exactly that problem.
I don't know how to respond without making this worse. Look, if you've ever thought that exact sentence, you are absolutely not alone. It's kind of the silent struggle of the modern workplace. Research actually shows that the average knowledge worker burns 2 to 3 hours every single day just on email. But here is the kicker, you guys. That time isn't spent reading important messages or having meaningful back and forths. Nope. It's spent on the crushing cognitive load of just deciding how to phrase things. What tone do I use? How direct should I be? How on earth do I get what I want without totally ruining this relationship?
So, let's dive right into this, because as your mentor, I need to let you in on a little executive secret. Shifting that exact, paralyzing email from a 3-day nightmare into a flawless, strategic response, it doesn't require another hour of agonizing. It takes exactly 30 seconds. Literally, 30 seconds of processing with Claude. And to be clear, we're not talking about automating your communications so you sound like some mindless robot. We are talking about using AI as your own personal master communication strategist.
Just imagine the transformation here. Instead of staring blankly at a blinking cursor, you enter a few very specific parameters and Claude generates a response that is so perfectly calibrated at a situation that the recipient doesn't just read it. They actually pick up the phone to enthusiastically agree and move things forward. That's the exact outcome we're optimizing for today.
Section 1. Writing versus strategic communication.
The absolute most important shift we're making in today's section has nothing to do with your typing speed. It's a total mindset shift. You see, rookies focus on writing words. They use slow, manual drafting, where they just try to produce clear language, hit send, and cross their fingers hoping the message lands well. It's an agonizing way to work. Executives, on the other hand, we focus on orchestrating outcomes. That's where fast, AI-assisted strategy comes in. You're designing a message to produce a specific, verifiable result. You aren't just writing anymore, you are strategizing. You define the relationship, the goal, and the constraints, and then you just let the AI think through the strategic approach.
And the difference in your cognitive load? It's staggering. Manually drafting a really sensitive message can easily eat up 60 minutes of your day. But when you make the shift from being a message writer to a communication strategist utilizing Claude, that load drops to half a minute. You spend 30 seconds directing the strategy, maybe another 60 seconds reading it over to make it your own, and boom, you hit send.
Section 2. The Mentorship Toolkit. 3 power phrases. All right, let's open up the toolkit. I'm going to equip you right now with 3 power phrases that absolutely force Claude to stop acting like a generic grammar checker and start acting like a senior communication strategist. Here's your first tool. Power phrase 16. The relationship dynamic is. This phrase is pure magic, honestly, because it gives Claude interpersonal intelligence. Every professional relationship has a power structure, a history of interactions, and a certain emotional temperature, right? If you just ask an AI to write an email, it writes for a completely generic relationship. But when you drop in this phrase, you inject the actual messy, real-world context into the prompt.
Just look at how fundamentally this changes the output. Without context, if you ask for an email to a non-responsive client, you get this generic, gentle nudge. But what if that specific client is going through a massive company restructuring and is dodging you out of pure stress? A gentle nudge is actually really dangerous in that scenario. It might just annoy them. By injecting the relationship dynamic instead, the output becomes a strategically designed re-engagement message. It applies warmth, it shows patience, and most importantly, it offers them a reason to respond that serves their interests, not just yours.
Okay, so moving from basic expression to actual strategy brings us to power phrase 17. The outcome I need from this message is. Look, most people write emails just to say something. Strategic communicators write emails to achieve something. This phrase explicitly defines what the recipient absolutely must think, feel, or do after they read your message.
For instance, a vague outcome is something like, I want them to get back to me. That's completely unmeasurable. But a precise outcome, that looks like, client agrees to a 30-minute call, feels it serves their agenda, and experiences zero pressure. That level of precision forces Claude to completely reorient the message's opening, its structure, and the call to action. Suddenly, the opening starts with what they get, not what you need. In the closing, it offers 2 specific times requiring just a one-word response, which creates genuine interest instead of fake urgency.
And for those moments when you are totally under fire, we have Power Phrase 18. Draft a response to this email that. This is your ultimate secret weapon for difficult incoming messages. You know the ones. The angry complaint, the senior colleague challenging your work, the kinds of emails that make you completely freeze up.
Here's what you do. You paste that difficult email straight into Claude alongside some strict strategic boundaries. You instruct it to 1. Acknowledge their frustration without apologizing for something that wasn't your fault. 2. Provide a clear, factual timeline without sounding defensive. 3. Redirect the conversation to a solution. And 4. End with a very specific next step. By combining your pasted email with these strict rules, Claude designs a flawless response in seconds. Something that would normally take you half an hour of intense stress is just done.
Section 3. Scaling up, your personal template system.
Now that you've got the power phrases down, it's time to build a system so you literally never have to write the same type of email from scratch ever again. Look, every professional has about 3 to 5 types of emails they write over and over. Follow-ups, proposals, project updates, difficult feedback, and declines. The core strategy for these remains the exact same every time, only the minor details change. So you can prompt Claude to act as your senior strategist and instantly build reusable templates for these exact situations. Once they're built, any of these recurring headaches can be handled, edited, and deployed in under 2 minutes flat.
Section 4. Automating the morning with Claude Cowork.
Now, everything we've discussed so far happens inside a chat window where you have to copy and paste. But Claude Cowork, it changes the model entirely. It's a desktop automation tool that handles the grunt work while you are literally just getting your morning coffee. While a standard Claude conversation produces text that you manually copy over, Claude Cowork takes actions natively right on your desktop. It works within boundaries you define and always requires your explicit approval for significant steps. It's moving from just generating output to actually taking action on your behalf. Seriously, look at your new morning timeline. At 8 a.m., Cowork reviews and categorizes your inbox from the previous evening into urgent, important, and low priority. By 8:01 a.m., it's already drafting responses to those urgent emails using your shiny new template system and silently filing away the low-priority informational ones. At 8:02 a.m., you sit down with your coffee and it presents a crisp 3-line summary of everything it processed for your approval. What used to be a 45-minute daily inbox chore is now reduced to a 2-minute approval dashboard. Amazing, right?
Section 5. The 5 p.m. log off. And this brings us to your new, completely stress-free normal, 5 p.m. That is when you are going to be snapping your laptop shut. By shifting from slow manual writing to fast AI strategy, and by utilizing your template system and desktop automation, you are effectively clearing a massive communication backlog. Those tasks that used to drag your workday out until 8 p.m., they're handled efficiently, professionally, and strategically. You finally get to reclaim your evening.
So, as your mentor, I am issuing you a final executive challenge for today. Step 1. Open your inbox right now and find that one avoided difficult email. You know the one. Tackle it today using those 3 power phrases. Step 2. Tonight, build your 5 template system. Prove to yourself that you can permanently reclaim your time.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. When you stop wasting your cognitive energy agonizing over the phrasing of an email, you get that precious time back. So, what will you achieve with the 2 hours you reclaim every single day? Think about that. Master this strategy, and I guarantee your daily workflow will never, ever be the same.